Salutations. Welcome to another episode of Bull City's Bravest podcast. As always, I'm Tim McKoy, and today I have some friends that are near and dear to me. I have Captain Marsee, who is, by the way, the youngest guest to date. How you doing, Captain Marsee? Pleasure having you here. Thank you for coming out again.
Absolutely. Glad to be out here.
And just so everyone watching knows, how young are you?
34.
34 years young, no spring chicken by any stretch of imagination, but he's also not, Gray or Captain Hamlin or Captain Boone, respectfully.
A lot of experience there, yes.
But you are the youngest, so, we're going to tap into that young energy. But as always, this is a podcast for firefighters, by firefighters, and people who are interested in the fire service. As always, I got producer Patrick back there. How you feeling, Patrick?
I'm feeling fantastic. Just learned that Cap and I are the same age pretty much. I just turned 33. He's 34. Tim, how old are you?
I am 38, 39. Wow. See, when you get old, you stop counting. I'm 39. I'm close to 40. I'm there.
And 33.
Mid to late 30s in the room. Yeah.
This is a pretty young room. As the fire service has turned out to be pretty young. I think the average age in the fire service now is probably early 30s, at least for the DFD. But before we get into the episode, today, the shirt of the day is Bull City Blazers. This is our all-girl camp. I wanted to rep for them. We're getting into camp season, summertime, so, I decided to wear the shirt. I'm going to turn around. I don't know if you can get them. I feel uncomfortable getting on the ground like that. My knees are a little old, so, all cracking and popping. But
it sounded like Rice Krispies when you did that.
Hey, listen, it comes with the age, man. If my body's been through some things in these 19 years now. Captain Marsee, you come from a family. Your father is in emergency management, right? But did he do fire starts before then? Let's just talk about how you got into the fire service. Yeah. And just talk about your family.
Sure. I'll be honest and straightforward. This is not where I thought I would be early on. Okay. I had other aspirations, but here I am, and a lot of that led to, because, like you said, my father. So he was Durham County firefighter, Durham County paramedic for 32 years with the county and the city, but then eventually became the assistant EM for Durham County as well.
Okay.
So growing up around that, I think one summer I lived at Lebanon when he was a station captain over there.
Really?
He took me along, and I'd say that's where the fire bug started. Just seeing how people interact, what the job was like, and I think he recruited me early. That's what it was.
Hey, well, listen. Your dad is very well known in this area, and so every time I see him, he's still kicking to this day, man. He's not with emergency management anymore, right? But he
retired. But he only probably enjoyed retirement for 2 weeks, and then became for the Duke State Medical Emergency Team that responds in disaster, setting up field hospitals. So he just couldn't stay away from it. He loves it that much.
It tends to, when I always think, like, when I'm going to retire, I'm not going to do anything. But then I talk to all the retired firefighters, and they tend to do more work than they were when they here.
That is true.
They constantly have their stuff stacked up. Now, you said you weren't outside of your dad. You have a brother that's actually on the Durham Fire Department, right?
Both of us are. We're definitely following the footsteps of him. We love every bit of it. No regret, nothing like that. But we really enjoy it. He's down in South Durham, covering over there, and I'm over on
what house he's in?
18, Firehouse 18.
Firehouse 18. And how long have you been on, and how long has he been on?
I've been on about 10 and a half years now, going on 11 with City of Durham, and he has been here about 7-8 years.
7-8 years. And how was it like watching him like come into the fold? Like I'm interested.
It was interesting. Actually, he was the same way. He didn't think he would do it. Came back from being in service from the Army. And then he decided, and then he came back, found something, decided to work for Durham City Communications Center. So that's actually where he started.
Really? He worked at communications?
He worked at communications for, I think, about 1.5 years.
Oh, my God. Bless your soul. I can't. I do not want to do communications at all.
Those who work part-time there and full-time, blessings to y'all, because that is something else. That's a different beast. But he did that, and I think he just wanted to be out there, hearing from the radio traffic and the call taking. he got to the part where, I guess the saying, boots on the ground. He'd rather be there in the mix and helping out on that part.
So, it's interesting because you talked about the stresses that those guys and girls here in that field, and again, it's respect to them. I don't want to do it because not because I think it's not a worthy job or anything like that. It's more so of I just knowing people that worked in communications and hearing their stories. And we had someone that used to work here in administration. Her name was Carla Cruz. Shout out to her. And her husband's actually on the police department, but she started off in communications. And the reason why she left was she said, it just took that one call where she just replayed it in her head constantly, and it just wasn't she couldn't do it anymore. That was over for her. So I respect, props to you guys, you guys and girls over there. Shout out to y'all. That's something I would never try to do. Plus, I feel like we get enough from just arriving on scene. I can't imagine when someone's first finding that person that's maybe deceased or that tragedy, and then calling. You got to manage that emotion that's on the phone. Now, you mentioned you and your brother didn't think you guys would end up here.
Yeah.
What were you thinking about doing?
So, I mean, just like him, I went to college, went pre-med during that time.
Okay, you smart. All right, pre-med. All right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So that was the route I was thinking, going sports conditioning coach or an athletic trainer or physical therapist. I still didn't know which route then there. And then during that time, I joined in the service with the National Guard, doing that. And I thought military was going to be my route, or getting a degree and then going to do a job on that. During that time frame, it was hard to get a job coming out of college, and nothing was hitting on it. Nothing was meeting what I liked about being in the military with the camaraderie and everything. Yeah. And oddly enough, it started hey, you volunteered a while back ago in Lebanon. Why don't you try it again, get back into it? And then went back into volunteering, loved it so much to the point hey, I could do this as a job, as a career. And this was the place that I wanted to, because it's my hometown. Durham is where I grew up and was raised.
Born and raised, okay.
Yeah.
Now, so first of all, thank you for your service. Now, you applied. What year was that? What year was that around?
Oh, let's see. I think I applied, what was it, 2014.
Because you said you was out of college, or out of the military, the job market or whatever. You were just finding. So I was curious what that time frame was. Now,
graduated in 2013, was looking for jobs elsewhere, and got back into it. So
what did you get on your first time? This is a question I like to figure out, because
luckily enough, yes, I did my first attempt. I was actually in the middle of Dermtech's Fire Academy when that was going on, and I applied during that time frame.
Really? So did you end up quitting Dermtech Academy, or did you graduate and then the other? Because the way my story is, I applied and then there was a hiring freeze, because our academy was supposed us and 18 was go back to back, but they started 18, and then during 18 Academy, they had a hiring freeze. And then it was a year before my academy actually started. So I started Dermtech and finished it in my Dermtech Academy.
So I finished Dermtech's Fire Academy.
Okay.
And then started the job here soon after. It was a weird transition. I mean, because we had two guys that was in the Dermtech Academy that was hired by Durham. I think it was during the Safer.
The Safer, when we had the grant. Yeah.
Only a few people go through the Dermtech Academy at a time. So we had a guy that was hired by Mooresville, another one from, and then two from Durham, which actually my academy mates are Tyler DeStasio and Steve Stinson.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but they were hired prior to the academy starting. I got hired during the academy and then just started right here. I only got a 7-day break after the academy and jumped straight on in. So,
you started I guess it was probably a month between my Dermtech graduation and the start of my academy. Now, you said Tyler and Stinson were your academy mates. Now, y'all all went through the Durham fire, because you said they got hired and you got hired later, right?
Yep.
Were you in a separate academy, or y'all all in one academy? I'm just trying to clarify.
Sorry. It's a little weird going through the Durham Tech. So technically, they were their own academy, because they got hired, went through that.
All right, yeah.
And then I got hired in between their academy, and Bordeaux's and David Lynn got hired during that process, but they had to go through an academy. So it was a weird time frame.
You never went through academy,
not a Durham fire.
Okay, all right. For those that don't
Yes.
know, all right.
Confusing.
For those that don't know, there was a time period where maybe 5 years or something like that, where Durham Fire Department didn't run their own academies. We put people in the Dermtech Academy, so we would sponsor like, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5, however many people we needed, and then those people would basically come into the field from Dermtech. Unlike our traditional academies where we run it from start to finish, this was ran in partnership with Dermtech, and it was pretty much Dermtech. Your Dermtech Academy, did you have city instructors?
Yes, it was almost nothing but city
Okay,
instructors.
so,
Yeah.
Like my Dermtech Academy, again, I went through what would be considered a traditional Durham Academy. Like my Dermtech Academy was mainly it was in Chapel Hill first and foremost. It was like the only Dermtech Academy in Chapel Hill. So it was at Chapel Hill Station 4, their training grounds that's out there. So we had some Chapel Hill instructors, but now I had people like Richard Ray, Rodney Sellers, Captain Young.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So all these people in my academy, I have a story about that in the academy.
That's funny. The same instructors you have were there as well.
Okay.
I think we had like maybe Captain from Raleigh, Dominic Orlando.
Okay,
was
I've
there.
never had more Orlando. I heard
But
about
like
him.
Chief Swain at the time was a captain. Chief Ray, captain as well at the time. Captain Hamlin.
Okay, yeah.
Bobby Boning, he's a former DFD guy that went somewhere else. He came in, so yeah.
Yeah, he was still here. He was in my Durham Fire Department Academy. He was my training captain.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the. I was telling someone the other day that he was the hard nosed training captain. He's busting. What is going on? You know, he has his New York accent. So you went through the academy, Durham Tech. You come out into the field, and what's your thought process? Like, is it what you thought it was? How were you? Was it receptive? People in the field, did they receive you well?
I would say it was interesting. I was received well at one because there was a few people I knew growing up. So I knew a lot of people in Durham growing up because of the same thing with my father knowing a lot and growing up around these folks. At the same time, they didn't know me because we didn't have a Durham Fire Academy.
Right.
So you're just a stranger coming into this fire department that nobody's heard of you or know your training.
Thrown to the wolves.
Just thrown straight out there. And I started off at the big house, so Station 1.
Right.
And so it was a lot of people that knew a lot of people, but from Durham Tech Academy, not so much. So I had to go in there and start from ground up knowing people. So
and most rookies start from ground up, right? But I think what you're saying is, at least when it's a completely Durham, like we go out there, we can see the people, you hear the stories,
And it was like a culture thing
it's
too.
a culture thing,
like you learn the culture and the tradition when you go through your own department's academy. And Durham Tech, they try to balance it as best they can, but it's not just Durham and
It's
Durham
not
Tech.
that, right?
It could be all sorts of. It could be like Henderson, Chapel Hill, Morrisville, however they run their academy at the time, trying to get them ready for another small time department. So that's probably what you were getting at, and what I meant was just trying to learn the Durham's traditions, the culture of Durham coming into here. So,
who's your captain at one?
I started off with Mitch Marcunas. He's a chief now, battalion chief. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And who's your driver?
Philip Fawcett, or as everybody knows, Speedy. Yes, that's more like it right there.
Yeah. Speedy, and was Hannigan at your station?
She was my senior firefighter along with Pops Curtis Potton.
Okay, that's a solid crew right there,
Yep.
man.
Squad 1, I think we were running Engine 7, Ladder 7 to City, so Squad 1 was the only squad at the time. So during then was Gregory
you
Cook.
came during that transition?
That
when they were doing this Ladder 7 thing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, y'all got cooked, man.
Oh, yeah.
Squad 1 was getting cooked then.
Because it was Captain Towner, Nathan Towner, and Greg Cook was a firefighter on the squad over there.
Oh, man.
And then our safety officer at the time, Safety 1, ran out of there. So Dave Odell and Todd Elliott. And then Chief Eaton was Battalion 1 at the time. So, yeah, it was a fun crew up there.
How was your experience coming out, like, into...
I've told everybody this. I have been blessed in my career in the fire department. It was amazing. I really solidified that Durham was a great department, great place to work, and a lot of that came to where I started off with and just how go-getting and passionate everybody was at that station. And then, of course, it helped that I was fortunate enough to be around when there was a lot of fires going on in downtown Durham or near downtown, being on Engine 1. Yeah. So it was a good time. It was a good time.
Yeah, if you get on, I mean, again, these inner city stations is definitely where you want to be at.
Yes.
I mean, I think crews are solid all around, but when we're talking about workload and just going to the fires, like, you definitely want to try to get inner city. That's where you're going to really get that. You also, and I say this in the best way, like, you get a certain type of alpha personality when you go to that station, right? Like,
oh yeah,
you get this kind of an ego, and it's because you get a lot of experience, and you more confidence.
Yes,
it's not, you're not being cocky, you're just confident.
Yeah, you build that confidence, but you also have one of those in the firehouse that brings you back down to humble beginnings. You always get that one that is, hey, how about we rein it back a little bit? So there's always that one around that station, which is a good thing to have. But no, you're right. You get that strong personality, strong passion for the job because of that.
The great thing about, at those stations, again, it's not just everyone has the little confidence and everything, the alpha male personality, but there are a bunch of jokesters and
yes.
a bunch of jokesters and a bunch of people. A lot of times those stations you're going to have, those legends that are there, right?
Yes.
So you're going to have people who will humble you really quickly. So how long were you at one for?
I was there for about a year. And then a new wave of new recruits, rookies came through, and we were already at capacity. And some things worked out to the part where they're like, hey, you got to go. So your new assignment is Ladder 6. So I left Station 1 after a year, bouncing back and forth between Engine 1 and Squad 1.
Who kicked you out?
Huh?
Who kicked you out of Station 1?
He knows who it is. Needham.
Oh, Needham. Hey, so you went to Ladder 6. What was your captain?
So Cam is currently now Chief Upson was the captain, and Camp Sellers was the driver.
Oh, man.
And Adam Whitfield and myself were the firefighters in the back.
Another crew of characters.
Definitely, I can tell you that assignment right there, I have never laughed so much every day at work than I have with that crew.
That is Chief Upson was he was a driver at my Station 2, but then he got promoted to, he wasn't a driver, he was a firefighter at Station 2 when I came out. Then he got promoted to driver probably like a month within me being there, and he went to Station 1 to drive. And then, like you said, he ended up being captain. And I remember that crew, that was another crew of just fun and games, especially with Whitfield there.
And it didn't help that we went to 16 when they were redoing the bay floor at Station 6.
Oh, man.
So we had...
Who was that, 16?
So you had Dolan was captain on Engine 16. Garland was newly promoted driver, Chris Brown, and Genitacio.
Oh, man.
And then we got a new recruit. He's no longer here. He went to Cary, but Darren Wheeler was our rookie coming on Ladder 6. Yep.
I was going to say something, but I don't know if I can say it. His brother is here now, but...
he's the better one since he stayed, but yeah.
He's the old Purple Heart. I'll say that. Old Purple Heart.
Oh, yeah.
Old Purple Heart.
Oh, yeah.
I miss Darren, man.
Oh, I do too.
For those that know what we're referencing, he was in the gas explosion downtown, and he caught some shrapnel to his manhood areas, we'll put it that way. I don't know if I can say that, timestamp that just in case I can't say that, but he did catch some shrapnel and he was injured, so I'm gonna call him Old Purple Heart. We have a name for him, but I'm not gonna say it. So Station 6, you were there. Obviously, you had an experienced crew and a very fun crew.
I learned a lot about truck company operations under them during that time, like ladders, cutting. Even though Ladder 6 is not your busiest ladder company in the city.
Well, that crew was very experienced.
But that crew made it up for keeping the day fun and games, but then we go out and train, and I mean, we train good, and I learned a lot under those three on truck companies.
Now, would you say you're more of a ladder guy or engine guy? Like, what's your thing?
To this day, I'll go ahead and put it out there, I am an engine guy.
Engine guy.
Nothing against truck company. I love searching, I love cutting holes, which I've been fortunate enough to do when I rode to a ladder truck as a firefighter. But engine work it's God's work. I love it. Just putting water on fire. You just can't beat that feeling.
See, I always struggle with this because the truth of the matter is you can't put the fire out without the water. Me personally, I've always been like a truck guy. I just didn't like I like the challenge of the truck aspect, and I feel like you can only do so much on the engine. That's just me.
Oh yeah.
That's just me. I like the engine's cool, and like I personally. I was an I before like the department was like I heavy. They weren't putting people through academies as I, so I had to go to school and get my intermediate. I'm tying my shoes, so I went to school to get my intermediate, and then I ended up on Engine 7, which was a Quint, but Engine 7. And so we ran a lot of calls, and this is back when you could really do a lot of work on scene because Durham County at the time only had like 5 or 6 mad trucks, right? So we would be on scene for a while, so we were actually doing a lot of ALS stuff, starting IVs. It's changed now.
Yes.
EMS has since the skip era. He added a lot of trucks, which is good, but it kind of takes away from us and our skills because we don't get to use that ALS aspect anymore because they're on scene usually right behind us, not unless it's a super busy day where we're calling people from Orange County.
Yeah, that's true. Because I think I caught the tail end of a lot of that, or the beginning of that process. Because when I came in, we weren't able to intubate no more, like it used to.
Yeah.
But starting IVs and all that was that's where I kind of got the love from being on the squad in the engine.
Yeah.
And I just like the engine because it's the one that goes to everything. It feels like, and you get to figure a lot of things out of being on the engine company. And just doing the EMS and the firefighting, and to me, just able to pull hose, go inside a hot environment, and just flow water. To me, that's a lot of fun. But again, just like you said, you like truck work. People like engine company. People like the rescue. We need those kind of people, right? You need those people who are passionate about it, that are going to do well at it, and stay on those kind of trucks. So I'm for that too.
So all you young people out there that are looking, like, find your niche, find what it is, and then really become good at your craft. That can't be echoed enough. Like, be good at your craft. Like, don't you can't study everything.
Yes.
Like, you got to find what your niche is going to be,
what
and
it
then
is.
be really good at that. Now, as far as the other thing about the engine though is like pulling the hose, putting the fire out is great.
Yeah.
But your probability is a lot less because you have more engines than anything else.
That is true.
Your probability on the ladder truck, like, you have a higher chance of search or ventilation because you're not going to get but so many ladder trucks on scene, right? Mm-hmm. So, it like you said, it has pros and cons. I do like the fact that the engine does go to a lot of, like, they're going to go to a lot of calls, right? They're going to go, in EMS is majority of what we do.
It is.
So you get a lot of experience in that and meet a lot of people, see a lot of different cultures. You just get exposed to a lot of things on the engine. Now, at what point in your career, like, how did you end up in the academy, and how did that, like, was that something that you wanted to do?
So it was
voluntold?
No, I wouldn't say it was voluntold. It was. It's always been a goal of mine. I have a passion for learning stuff and wanting to spread the knowledge that I learned over the years from others and everything. So it was in my quote unquote bucket list to one day be a part of the academy as an instructor. To be on the other side of the table, so I was actually just chilling on vacation, on my 21-day vacation, and I get a phone call and saying, "Hey, your name got brought up. Are you interested? But here's the catch: you got to come off the truck." And at the time, I was on Engine 3, which I always wanted to be. I think I was a driver at that point for 2-3 years on Engine 3.
Decision, right?
Really good crew too at the time. I think Andre was still a new captain, and
Captain Knight, shout out
Mikey Palmer and Arrington, and we got Brandon Roberts as a rookie. So really great crew.
Yeah, I had a crazy
especially
crew.
with Rojas and Tudor and all them.
Yeah, shout out to those guys, Station 3.
Yeah, that was a good time too. But so I sat on it, and I said, you know what? Any time is better than now. Let's do it, because you can't always wait forever. So I took my opportunity, said, you know what? Sure, I'll do it. And I came out here when Captain Sellers took the reins on the training captain side. Chief Snipley was still here as the chief of training. Jeff Hanam and I came into the mix. At the time, there was only 2 of us for the fire side for training. And I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't realize a lot of the inner cogs behind the training. It was a great learning experience, and I enjoyed every bit of it on preparation and training.
We're gonna get into this because you were at training academy, and I can't remember exactly. So we were talking before Dermtech Academy, right?
Yes.
And how you know, I know from the field side, a lot of us felt like the quality of people we were getting out of the academy wasn't as where we would like it to be to Durham standard.
Yes.
Not that the people were bad. It's just that, again, Durham only had so much control over academy, or could only do so much because it was academy with multiple agencies or people looking to go to other agencies involved.
Yes.
So I know for a lot of people like to say for Grant because it constantly made sure we were up to staff, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people were against it because the quality of people came out. And I can't remember when you came out there, was that the start of us taking it back over, or had we already taken over for a little
I
bit?
think we have taken over for a little bit.
So I can't remember that timeline, but I do know when you and Hanam came out there, or when that group of instructors came out there. I feel like from a department standpoint, there was a culture change. There was a shift. Like, we're doing stuff a lot different. And people were, I think that maybe that was our first year. We lost a lot of people in the academy.
I think it was our first largest academy is when we lost a lot of people.
Lost a lot of people.
I think it was supposed to be a 60-person academy. We wind up hiring 56. I think we graduated only 26, 25.
25, yeah.
But no, yeah, it was. I think we went through and re-looked at a lot of what was going on and hearing from the folks from the field, being on that kitchen table talk about that if the standard of Durham is being met, because the bare minimum standard may be higher than most, and we take pride in that because of just how aggressive we are as a department and what kind of calls we see more often than most. And so we took that in consideration, and I can't say that I was the mastermind or the brains, but I was there to help. I'll go ahead and tell you, a lot of smart people were there that I was learning from, but we all had the same philosophy. Standard is standard. We just want people to be able to do the job in Durham. And but we're going to set you up for success. It's up to you to reach that standard. It's not impossible to reach,
Right.
but it's not an easy track. But we want to make that standard so both sides are winning. And it was a little bit of a culture change to get that going, to change from that Dermtech mindset, and then it just kind of carried over a little bit for that flow. And then we wound up changing it, but it required more work from us, but we were willing to do that.
I know Chief Stipley played a big part in that too.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
let you guys do, like, he wasn't about the coddling, or, he wanted you guys to do your job. And if we lose people, oh well, like we lose them. But
He definitely said, hey, these are the parameters, make it happen.
yeah,
We would do it. And if we didn't fall within the parameters, he'd come and be like, hey, I need you to address this. And we're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the same. I think he set that flow for us, and then when we carried it over to the academy, where like, hey, we got parameters to meet, you got to meet it. It's up to you to figure that out, but get it done. And it was great to have that kind of culture change to that standard. And I mean, I've been fortunate to work with some of them, even from between the part-time job or here at Durham. And I think they said that what they went through wasn't anything wild. They haven't seen anything that was like, why'd y'all make us do this? And I think they've seen why now, which was great conversations to have afterwards. But I think Hanam is still there in training, and he's continuing that. And
he's heading it up right now.
Yep. And saw in the last academy that it stayed true to that, and it's amazing to see. And it was amazing to be a part of that culture shift to that standard and quality of training that we're trying to carry over, and that we try to enforce even to our folks in the field day in and day out, and carry that over to the academy. Now,
I will say, Hanam, his workouts, like, he's definitely transformed the physical part of it. And him being a strength and conditioning coach at NC State, he has that background. But I seen some of the stuff, and they actually, Central was here, and he put Central through some stuff, man, and those guys were struggling. They like they're struggling. So he's definitely got the program, like Hanam, his mentality, everything that Hanam's doing has been excellent.
I learned a lot off of him, and how he's designed these exercise programs is amazing. Just sitting there, me and him spitballing back and forth, like taking some of my Army PT training, throw it in there, and talking about like, well, why are we training people for half marathons? Because they're carrying heavy equipment. Like, you can't do one or the other.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find that good
Get your heart rate up.
Get your heart rate up,
Break
because
it
you're
down,
going to be
back up
working
again.
hard for 10 minutes
Yeah.
straight. So a lot of like circuit-based training where you're keeping your like high intensity, your HIIT training and stuff like that. Trying to get more strength incorporated in here, because it's just the kind of equipment we carry on a day-to-day basis, just the gear we wear. So watching him put that together was amazing. And the other part, my man's a MacGyver. I could look at a pile to me that looks like trash and junk.
Yeah.
And he goes, I can make that work. And he's made these fire hose bundles that are weights to a lot of workout stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how you made that out of that stuff, but it's pretty awesome to watch him work on stuff like that.
You know, that's something that we that is needed in the fire department. Just those people that are the MacGyvers, or people who are very good mechanically, right? Like, because I worked with a couple guys. Hanam came from the rescue truck. He was when he left the rescue truck to come out to the academy. And the guys like Hanam, I know Langston, like those guys, Caleb Sharp, Travis Hamlet, like they are very good in mechanical.
Yes.
Like Travis can weld anything, fix anything, make whatever work. So those guys, that's one of the things you need in the fire service that sometimes you don't see a lot of people that apply they don't have that necessarily. Not that I think because society has changed in the aspect of like a lot of people. I was telling people a lot of times I hear people say, "Oh, these young kids, they don't know how to do anything right." And I'm like, I mean, it's not their fault. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I make my kids cut the grass, but I can afford to pay somebody to cut my grass. Now, if a kid comes from a background where their parents pay somebody to service their car and cut grass, it's not the 50s and 60s anymore where people are fixing their own cars and fixing everything. Now everybody takes things to get serviced, or they have people come do stuff. So people aren't as hands-on or mechanical as we have been in the past. Yeah. So those people who are mechanical, they're needed in the fire department. Those people are gyms these days.
Yeah. And we noticed that, and a lot of, and it's not just us, because I mean, reaching out and seeing different training across the board, it's across the nation, right? And a lot of fire academies are realizing this, and our training has changed. I wouldn't say cater, but just more of understanding, accepting that there's a different uprising of people coming into this job that are the best way to put it is like more college apt, or coming from office because they're tired of the monotonous 8 to 5 day in day out. They want to do something different. Right. And a lot of them may not have that mechanical experience ever uprising. So when we sit there and we look at training, like it's not a knock against anybody, but we do have to start teaching how threads work and how to go which way, or how to start a chainsaw. Like, what does mixed oil look like? What is bar oil?
A lot of people haven't seen
and never have to. And then the approach to that is changing the mentality of like, well, how dare you not know this, versus like, hey, it's different now, so we have to incorporate this in our training and get exposure to it.
Now there are some like I had a rookie didn't know how to wash clothes, and I was like, hey, listen,
yeah.
Your parents did everything for you, but
between washing clothes,
like,
not knowing how to peel a potato.
I know you know how to put a Tide Pod in. Like, you might eat Tide Pods, but I know you know how to put a Tide Pod in the laundry. So but it is a different mindset. I think us as people who are on the department got to think like, hey, these kids aren't exposed to that, because that's not where we're at anymore. Yeah. Where there's a lot of people are getting services done and other people doing it. But so those little skills are very hard to come between. It's great that the program is now teaching people how to crank a chainsaw, going through the basic stuff, and not more of a knock, but more of a, hey, this is what you're going to be expected to know, so we're going to have to teach you how to do this properly. Now, with that being said, you're in the academy. I'm sure it wasn't all. You talked about the culture change. So, what was the challenges that you had? Give me some challenges, and then give me the peaks and valleys. What are the peaks and valleys?
The challenge is just like anything else. It's just the training is growing. We're growing as a department, so we need more people. So the budget trying to catch up with that, and on how to provide the adequate training on top of that, but also how to deliver that culture for people who are not used to this rank structure, and how we live, the 24-hour kind of deal. So understanding how to put that out there. I say all the peaks came through near the end of the academy when we start seeing that
Flourish. The
yes.
development.
So one, the strength and the conditioning and the them being in better shape than they started, and then transitioning into their training. Like I'll use one example. We do a kind of self-survival course that somebody put together. If a firefighter gets in a precarious situation, they got to get out. Got to learn how to get out and save yourself. Most of the time in the past in the academies, most of those people will drain their 45-minute air bottles in no time before they finish. And all the instructors are at this time, near the end of the academy, looked at us like, I think I made the course too easy this year because nobody was vibro alerting at the end. And we're like, program's working. We're getting people in better shape, learning how to breathe in that situation. And to the point where everybody was flourishing in the culture aspect. They were understanding how it worked, no issues on that end. And like, for example, like, you know, we got to pay our own box dues, like for our own coffee, creamer, spices for cooking, right? So a lot of people don't know that, especially when they come into the job. So we created that culture like, hey, y'all got to come together. If you want coffee and creamer during your classroom period, because they have their own coffee pots and refrigerator, y'all need to come together and put in a box stew and make a drink box. And I mean, like one aspect of the culture versus the other things too, like, hey, how you rotate and clean when you get done with training. And then it just became self-sufficient to the point where we were never having to helicopter over them. And just those little things carried over and set them up for success out there. Was
I didn't
a win
realize y'all were
well.
doing that. So the whole drink box aspect, it sounds like you have a well-rounded program. Like you're covering all areas that you need because it is.
Because it's easy to put the PowerPoint together and say this is the itinerary and how we're going to teach it. But how do you teach from A to B, from point A to B to walk to that part?
Right.
And the little minutia things that you do day-to-day living in a firehouse. And we wanted to incorporate that as well.
That is amazing, and I don't think that's the first time I heard that they were doing that aspect. Now I do know our training, like I tell everybody, like our training is top notch. When I talk to recruits, I'm like, hey, listen, you're gonna come here. Like first of all, and I feel like I try to tell them everything they need to know. So I say, listen, don't come in this job or get hired and don't take it seriously because you only get so many times to fail tests in the academy. And they gonna kick you out. We ain't trying to hear none of these sad stories. So be focused, take it seriously from the jump, because once you get a test behind, now you're fighting the rest of the way. Once you fail one test, now you already got one down. It's 3 strikes and you're out. So you can't play around. Like you gotta take it seriously. Like a lot of people come in here thinking because they went to college, they got a college degree or whatever, that they can just BS their way. You can't clip notes your way through this.
Nope. And you just hit it right on the nail, right? And letting y'all know too, like if you're doing this job and you're hoping to get hired to go to the academy, listen to this part for sure. What you said was right. A lot of people come in and underestimate the learning process of the classroom section of going, it's firefighting. It can't be that hard. You put water on fire. Right. Well, it's a lot more to it. Now we've learned a lot more over the years of firefighting. There's a lot more to it than just simply just putting water on fire nowadays, because there's a cause and there's a reaction to everything. So we have to learn that. And a lot of people, like you said, are like, hey, I did great in high school or I did great in college. I don't need to study. I'm going to go out and socialize every night and don't have to worry about it. And we have seen them literally fail out of the academy just because they refuse to study appropriately. And it's like I told when I was in the academy, like, hey, nothing else exists for the next 7-8 months, however long it is now. Monday through Friday, you eat, live, breathe, and sleep firefighting. So that way you can pass. And then you can go back to socializing to the normal world after you're said and done, because it's a long time to stay invested. And as soon as you're done, it rewards you at the end of doing this job.
Yeah, I tell them, I say, listen, man, you gotta lock in for 8 months. Like 8 months of sacrifice will give you a 30-year career.
Yes.
All you gotta do is lock in, sacrifice for 8 months. I'm not saying you can't watch the game at all. What I'm saying is if you know you got a test the next day, you need to spend that day before making sure you lock, because a lot of it is just, there are NFPA standards you gotta learn, right? Mm-hmm. You're gonna get tested on those. And then drug dosages, what drugs, contradictions, all that stuff is stuff that ain't easy to remember, and we're very particular about it because this is life or death. You give someone the wrong drug, you give them the wrong dosage, you give them something that they're allergic to, and that is a fatal mistake that you can make, and that's going to end up coming back on you in the department. And so we're very picky on that. And then just on the firefighter side, same thing. Like there's a lot of stuff, particulars that you need to know. And so I tell them, don't come in here playing, man. If you're going to come in here playing, you're not going to take it seriously, don't apply, because I don't want anybody that's going to take a spot.
Yeah, and I don't know how they're teaching in school nowadays or college, because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But it's adult learning. So we're going to give you information that sets you up success for out here in Durham.
Right.
But we're still teaching you all the state requirements and everything. But we're going to teach you a lot of what sets you up out here.
Yeah.
And it's up to you to go and get the rest of the information that you're going to get tested on. And I think a lot of people struggle on that part when we see that, because they're also trying to balance the physical aspect of doing the hands-on and the physical training, and then turn around and have to go read. So it's a little eye-opener, different from what most are used to as well.
It's not easy. The academy's not a walk in the park. I mean, listen, I was in very good shape. I had went to academy for that. I was a wrestler in high school all 4 years. The physical part was easy for me for the most part, but it becomes long days. Like you wake up early, work out, then you got to stay up to learn and listen and be attentive. Then let alone be a training day where you're really doing those Mayday drills and things like that. Like it just becomes a lot. And then you got to go home and study. Then you got, God forbid, you have a family, kids, everything, games, soccer practices to go to. Like it's just, and you got to have that support system, because your spouse or whoever needs to be like, hey, I understand. This is is important. I got it for now. You know, I'll get you back. Pay me back when you get done, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But no, I tell people like that the training, Durham training staff and the training is top tier, and it is even the little stuff. Like we have the props, like you go through the props and everything. Like you go through like when I came through, there was no furniture when we doing search drills. It was the open floor, right? Like now you guys have a whole living room set up, a bedroom set up, got TV, you got beds, couches, you got hoarder conditions, like all those things that I didn't have in my academy that makes a real world difference when you come to the real world. You may not have a door. It may be a curtain in front of that room, and that's just stuff that you may not think about, you may not encounter. So when you go through that curtain, now it's over you. It's just, I think we pay a lot of attention to details, and I think that is just a testament of how the training has. I feel like training's always been tough, and I feel like it's always been great, but I feel like we've taken it to a next level where we're really putting you in position so you don't get caught off guard. And I think that's a great thing.
And a lot of this stem from just listening from the table talk in the stations and over the years, and from what we've seen. Like we go back to, like you said, just nothing against the person, but the quality of training, just the lackluster of, hey, we'll just make this work and go through the motions. But we're like, no, we really want to simulate as best as we can, so when you go out there, it's not new to you. You're familiar with a base foundation on how to complete this task, and simulate as best as we can. So like I said, I very fortunate to be a part of that for that academy and the lateral academy before that. And so
you made a lot of difference. Now then you went up for promotion, right?
I did. I think that's why I left, because I was going up for captain that year. Yep.
And so you get promoted to captain, right? Where do you go? And then, like, how does it feel? How's the transition back into the field operations and just being now you're a captain, like now you have this responsibility on your shoulder, right? Like how's that transition been for you?
I'd say the busyness has not slowed down much doing that, in a good way.
Right.
It was great to go back to shift. Like, loved the training, loved it, loved sleeping in my bed every night. But I missed the shift work. I missed being on the calls, running the calls, hearing the sirens in the background. So getting back into it was great, to be back on that fire apparatus and responding to calls. Got promoted and got assigned to Engine 13, which is our hazmat station.
Hazmat dorks, geeks.
Love it, every bit of it. And so that right there, I'd say the training and preparation helped me with this, carried it over to the hazmat side of things, because there's additional work on top of just normal firefighting, of keeping up with equipment and training in that aspect as well.
I will say this. I don't know who need to hear this. Hey, listen, these specialized teams, these like they're not just doing your regular training. Like we have training that every company. One thing you're gonna do, and I tell people that apply all the time. You're going to clean and check your equipment.
Yes.
You're going to train. You're going to work out, right? Those are things, and then you're going to eat as a family. And then you may have PR events and then calls, whatever you have, right? That's what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis. Cooking, cleaning, training, and working out, and then calls are things those are things you can bet your bottom dollar on you're going to do every day. With that being said, these specialty teams do even more on top of that. So USAR, Hazmat, your rescue, like I feel like this be specialty pay. I'm lobbying for specialty
You just throw
pay.
that out there right now.
Specialty pay. Hey, it ain't easy. Coming from a specialty, I've been on specialty teams my whole career for 18 out of my 19 years. Specialty teams deserve that extra pay because it's a lot of work. You're expected to know a lot.
Yes.
Like you guys are the hazmat gurus. We don't turn to Engine 10 and be like, Engine 10, respectfully, Engine 10, tell me what type of chemical this is. What's going to be, what's going to counteract with that. We don't look for them, right? You guys got to learn all that stuff. You guys are looked to as the expert in this field. And so there's a lot of training and equipment and things you guys got. Like, it's a lot of equipment to check. Like, to make sure, because there's a lot of stuff. You don't want this equipment to fail when you need it. So it's daily checks, weekly checks, monthly checks. Then training, team training, and then on top of the training that the department has, it's just a lot to go on. I know I sound like I'm crying about the situation, but it is a lot to go on, and I am more props to you guys that's on the special team. Everybody's on special team. Swiftwater too. I did name you initially, but you guys too. Everything like it's a lot to be on your shoulder, a lot to carry, especially being the captain because you're on shift. You're one of two captains. Well. Engine 3, you 16.
Yep, so 3.
One of 3 captains that is going to fall on you guys. And then you're going to call Don Gross. Hey, Don. What's up? Yeah. Hey, Don, the chemist. But I mean,
I'm with you on that. And I know that's a hot topic in our department right now. Like, hey, we're doing all this extra compared to other people, and not just our own people, but comparatively from other departments neighboring. Like, hey, why not like my firefighter, right? He has to do extra more than all the other firefighters. Why not give him a little bump in pay to appreciate what he does? But that's a whole different topic. We can sit at the kitchen table, talk hours on.
Hey, 5%. That's all. Only if you're on a specialty company.
But
I'm lobbying. Let's go.
But that's another thing. Going back to our engine, like we joke around and say engine is better than truck or truck is better than engine. Well, and you find your niche and your passion. Well, that's the same thing with rescue and hazmat, right? Like. I enjoyed the hazmat realm. That's how I went down that pathway of running a couple of hazmat calls, and I liked how you're trying to put this puzzle piece that's missing a couple of puzzle pieces in there, and you got to figure out what that puzzle piece looks like, what the color of it is, and how to put it in there to make this picture work. And I just loved that challenge of it, and that's how I went down that pathway. And a lot of us that are currently on the hazmat team are not voluntold anymore. It's more of a passion driven. You want to be there. You want to do it. And I think just like anything else in this department, we're becoming more robust and enjoy every bit of it. Now, granted, when we have to do the first of the month, check all the meters and calibrate and all that,
sucks. It sucks.
It takes a while. It's just like the rescue's got to go through and check all their struts and everything and the ropes,
rope log,
all that.
It has its, but the joy, because again, if the crap hits the fan in Research Triangle Park, because there's a lot of places where it could hit the fan.
Durham as a whole, between Duke University, the Tanika Parkway, and RTP. Yes, there's a lot of stuff out there that even scares me. But but those guys, you want guys that want to be there and want to take on that challenge, right? That's what you need. And I think as a department in the whole, like I think we are getting better at just not sticking people on trucks, like sticking people who want to be on those trucks on it. Because even when it came to now, we're saying, hey, you don't have to be a driver to promote the captain. You can go master firefighter route, because not everybody wants to drive. Yeah, not everybody wants that. And when you start to get people who aren't passionate about something, they're less attentive, they're more reckless, and now you have accidents or things that happen that probably could have been avoided. So I think as a department as a whole, we're already great, but we're just getting even better and better. Yes. And
like again, man, top department of state. I like. I know we talked about a lot of things where we improved, but trust me, like we never been no slouches. We're just getting better at how we do it. So, that being said, like you're on the hazmat truck, and how long you been out since you've been in, back?
Oh man, I want to say coming up 2 years now. Coming out of training, and so been on sitting at back on the truck. Got promoted about 6 months ago now, so just getting out of my probationary phase as a newly promoted. But been at 13 for coming on 2 years right now, and love being at the main hazmat station because I'm not gonna lie, I am that nerd. I love it. I love looking in the chemicals, keeping up with stuff and the equipment. I think all the guys will tell me I'm more the technology and equipment nerd because I can look at that equipment because I'm more of a doer. Like you tell me, hey, this is the problem, go figure it out, and I can grab the equipment and go take care of it. So that's kind of how I've always been, and I enjoy that aspect.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all nerds can have it. I took hazmat tech. I felt like I was in high school again, learning chemistry. I said, "Yo, what is this? What is?" And Captain Groves was Groves who actually the one that taught my class. So it was fairly, he's an entertaining person. Right?
Oh yes,
but it was just like,
yep.
It was just I can't. So more props to you guys that want to do it. That would never be my niche. Although I am a tech, I understand.
Plus,
I know just enough to keep myself out of danger.
Oh, I don't know how I got.
Or get myself in danger.
I enjoyed I enjoyed hazmat, but I'm sitting here like, how do I enjoy hazmat when I was in college and barely passed all my chemistry classes? I mean, going back to Don Gross, I mean, he is a huge asset for the hazmat team, right?
Shout out to Captain Gross.
Just kind of like Carl is to rescue, like Don Gross is for us, our hazmat team. He's created a lot of these policies and procedures and tactics at how we approach it, and how he teaches that and puts it to the firefighter level of taking the chemistry. I think, was it in hazmat chemistry tech portion? It's like 2 semesters worth of college of information thrown at you, and how he's able to take that information and turn it to a firefighter level where we can grasp and understand it is amazing. And so having that asset and teaching us to where we are able to operate where we are is a tribute to him, to that level, and a lot of us picking up the slack, trying to carry over that as well. Kind of like what rescue you going back to as well. There you got a lot of young guys coming up and taking off with what somebody put out there before. So
our department is very blessed to have these recognized, and even if it's just regional, which is some of them are more than regional, who are specialized in certain things. So we got Carl, right? We got Chief Ray. We got Don Gross. We have people in so many different areas that's within our own department and that we can tap into. And we got these talents that are recognized by so many and looked up to by so many other departments. I had Captain Hamlin here, and he said, it used to be back in the day, like, he got more recognition outside of his own department. Like they didn't really look to him to be like as a expert in this certain area. But now we're getting better at with just hey, we're going to actually recognize and tap into what like it's not so much a chief's ego where they want to do it on themselves. Like, hey, let's talk to the guy that actually knows what he's talking about. So that is great. Now I must ask you, you dabbled in a lot of areas, both operations and administration or the training academy aspect. I know you got some stories, man. So like, give me a story. It could be from the academy or in the field that you just just something that sticks in your head.
Oh man, what sticks in my head? There's a lot, and I go ahead and tell you, majority of the funniest stories come from EMS calls, not fire calls.
Okay.
But one I can remember, and I probably will to the day I retire, is my very first fire here in Durham, and I was at Station 1.
Oh, you said EMS call? Is this an EMS call?
No. I'm just saying the funniest calls.
Okay, all right.
But the most memorable to me
was the fire.
It's the first fire that really sucked me into this job for sure. Was downtown fire, somewhere I think off of Pear Street, I think I want to say. But anyways, fire through the roof of this 6-story building. Cleveland Street was getting worked on, so we were facing out toward Morgan. And I was still probably a few months in on the job, and all I remember is the door opened up, and I hear both people in the front, which was Emily was acting driver and Speedy was riding captain that day. And you hear, "Oh my God!" And you look, and it's just smoke coming throughout the whole city, and you can see a little bit of flames coming up on the roof. And I'm like, "Oh boy!" And
we got a worker
we
here.
finally got a worker. Like I'm sitting here going, like, "Man, I brought a drought. Like they're going to kick me out of this station. We haven't run anything cool until then." And just pulling hose through the alleyway and seeing how it operated, like control chaos to the T on that scene and seeing it in action. Never thought I would do a downtown fire, and I did, and that was just the epitome of the career where I'm like, I made the right decision coming to Durham, and that one will always stick to my head. Actually, majority of
any special circumstances in that, because there's been a lot of downtown fires. I've been to some where there's always some type of hiccup that happens.
It was your typical hiccup of kind of a low frequency kind of call, but high risk. Just somebody forgot to keep when we used to do a courtyard lay with the gated Y into there. Yeah, somebody didn't man there, and people start opening the ceiling. And they're like, "Hey, where's the water?" I'm like, I don't got water.
The gate was closed.
The gate was closed, and it was like, and then we had a partial collapse there, and I think it was somebody on ladder 2 that came down on them. So we were like freaking out a little bit.
The bucket came down?
Oh no, the roof itself.
Oh, the roof.
Part of the roof come down.
Man, wow.
Came on that one, but it didn't injure nobody. But it just fell and just trapped.
I thought you were saying the leveler on the bucket gave out or something like.
Oh no!
I was like, well, but that's so. I see. My first call downtown as a rookie was somewhere around that area, Orange Street or something like that, but. Captain Probst, captain on Engine 14 right now. He was on Engine 1 for a long time. And Roy Jimerson was his rookie, had a fire. And they get out there, it's burning, it's like a working fire, it's burning his butt off. And they get up there and they open the nozzle. And this is when we had, I can't even think of the type of nozzle we had. Y'all gonna kill me for this. It's been so long ago. But we had a nozzle. The nozzle we had, we used specifically for high-rise fires.
Okay.
So they had it. They were using this nozzle to operate. Well, they open it up, and nothing's coming out. And so they're screaming for water, and it's like no water is coming out. And the driver knows it's water in the line because the line is hard, right? So Roy, being the genius that he is, looked like a golden child because this particular nozzle, you could screw off the fog part. And it was some trash in there. It was getting caught up by the fog part of the nozzle, the bell. So he took it off, and when he did, he opened it up, and water flew out the smoothbore part of the nozzle. And he looked like a genius. He like a genius. He like a genius. They at the after action review, they're like, "Oh, Roy!" Like they were just bigging him up. I was like, "Oh, I can't do that. Mark that out.
Mark that.
Mark that out. Oh my God, I'll retake it." So they're bigging Roy up, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I'm just tired of hearing Roy. So Roy saved the day there. So shout out to Roy. Yeah, that was my first big fire downtown as a new guy. What about the academy? You got any crazy story? Any memorable story? I know you got some, but
I'm pretty sure. A lot of memorable stories was I was the quote unquote bad guy of the academy.
Where are you?
So
I would have thought Hanam.
So that's what everybody thought, and then of course everybody looked at me and were like, "You're this mean?" I'm like, "No, I'm just playing a role."
Yeah,
but no, yeah, a lot of the memorable stuff, it came from early on in the academy of just me being that guy to set the tone, being the bad guy, and the looks on their faces, I think was, what was it? There was a group of the recruits decided to break a rule after we told them don't do it. I caught them in the act. So they were both in class on their 5-10 minute break between lecture. And they broke the rules, so I said, you know what? We're going to fix this. And the looks of everybody's faces in the entire building. I had them do wall sits with their textbook out in front of them, holding it out there. And the funny part was not just sitting there making them do that, just more trying to teach them how to, like, hey, use their time better. was Susan come up to me. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're that mean." I'm like, "I'm just." And she didn't mean it wholeheartedly, but it was just funny to hear that.
Came out, gave me the mom.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe this.
And she just laughed, and we laughed it off later. She was just like, "I just never see that before, like coming out of you." Like again, everybody expected somebody else to be doing this, not me. And I thought that was the funniest part about the whole thing.
She's awesome.
But no, the Academy, man, there was a lot of trips, a lot of laughs in that one. I think the funniest one was somebody decided to do a wrecking ball on rappelling through the going down the
They
tower.
meant to do it? Or
No, they didn't mean
I was
to.
about to say,
Somebody was going down and decided to go through an open window.
Nice.
Of course, we laughed, and then we reamed them out,
Did
and
they
then we
have
laughed
to change their
again.
pants? They had to
Oh, they
change
had to as well. Yeah. So that was good times on that one.
Oh man, hey man, I'm sure I can only imagine. I know just being in the station with rookies, just seeing them and not knowing stuff, and just the things we get rookies to do and the stories we get from those is amazing. So we have a new segment, and I'm gonna ask you, and you may not have one, so if you don't, that's cool. But
Yeah.
it's called Close Calls. Have you ever had any close calls in your career?
Ooh, I have to think about that one. I want to say yeah, and it's not from a fire. It's actually an MVC on the side of a highway. I can't remember. It's 85 or 40. And I'd say that those places scare me the worst for this reason right here, is distracted drivers trying to treat people on the side of the road. You can block as best as you can, and then walking down the side of the road. And I think it was me and another guy, exactly just like that.
TikTok and
want to show everybody that what they see on the road and not paying attention.
Yeah.
Me and this guy were walking back down to the car, and mind you, we still have these highlighted vests that show up with lights, so you can see us. High vis, yeah. And next to know it, I felt a brush on my shoulder, and it was the side mirror of a car who decided to get back over into the lane, even though there was cones there. And then
that was real close.
And almost hit. I think Needham was on that call too, because I think I was on 19 that day driving.
Wow.
And that right there, change underwear for sure. But
you felt the brush on.
And it's just like, really, like, I can't express it enough. Like, even to the viewers who are not firefighters, please, if you see a vehicle with emergency lights, slow down, get over, because we're trying to help people out. But going back, man, it's crazy that one right there, thinking like how close I almost truly did get hit because somebody won't paying attention. And not just me, but Needham too, just how close that car got, but feeling the brush of that side mirror. And luckily that's all it was. But nothing cool, close call in a fire or anything like that. But that
public service announcement. Please get over.
Yes.
Please get over that. But you know, we do our best to block, and like you said, but sometimes, like, even if you block properly, you still can possibly get taken out, and that is wild. I personally, outside of the fire department, when I'm riding, I get so frustrated at people who just drive slowly, trying to look at the scene and not paying attention. They're literally looking this way and not paying attention in front of them. One, you're gonna cause an accident.
Another one, yes.
And two, you're slowing down traffic. There's no reason. Hey, it's nothing worse than riding down the road. Whatever the thing is off the road, but traffic is slowed. I'm like, why was there even traffic to start with? This car ain't even on the road, but everybody's what we call rubbernecking. Rubbernecking. So
that or seeing that phone like you were doing, and they're trying to Snapchat or take a quick video to post it online. Or something. It gets annoying because at some point you get frustrated and angry because you saw a wreck caused by something similar, but now you're seeing all this happening near you that's almost hitting your apparatus or your own crew. And it is just distracted driving is a big problem on the highways. I have to admit to that.
It is, and sadly, I don't know if it's going to get any better with just having everything at the palm of your hands, like everybody wants to see what's happening right now.
Yes.
Some people are really addicted to it. So, hey. All right. So there was a question left for you, and I think I have the proper wording for it.
Oh.
I'm changing a little bit because I think this is what the person was trying to ask.
Okay.
All right. What is one thing that you would change in the department? Like, what's one policy or one change that you would try to do to the department that would make it better?
Hoodies for everyone. No, I'm just kidding. They
You said what?
hoodies for everyone, but no.
Hoodies. Let's go.
But all joking aside, man, I have to sit down and think.
Did I get it right, Patrick?
That was definitely the spirit of the question.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He asked it a long-winded way, but I think you got the spirit of it. So yeah, we're gonna stick with that.
All right.
Man, what would I change in this department or whatever? You know, just sitting down thinking through. That's a tough one to answer on the spot. Like,
I told you that's a tough question.
it is. Because looking at a whole view and stuff, like I'm focused on my own district, my own department, and what's good for the guys. I think a lot of stuff that's going on right now is going toward a good direction. So I wouldn't say there's anything pertinent. Like on the spot, that's a tough one. I have to sit down and think on that one.
Recently, we had some good games with as far as like getting paid for acting immediately. That was a huge thing, right?
You know, if we go along the lines of that, you know what? I could say this. I would like to see the benefits after retire to return. After 08.
Health insurance
after retirement.
After retirement return.
Yep. I'm a huge advocate for that one. Because, I mean, you're spending 30 years out here, and not just because I'm on the hazmat team, but regular firefighting. Fire is different now because there's more plastics in homes. Yeah. The health detriment over 30 years being exposed to that, it'd be nice to know that you have that safety net, that you did a service for 30 years for a city, that when I leave, would like to see that being reinstated, that health insurance is continued on after retirement as a thanks for being here, for serving for 30 years. Because I think, what was it, after 08, they stopped it like June of 08.
I don't know. I just know I'm grandfathered in, so
yeah, because
I don't have those worries.
Because I remember going even in the basic training in Army, the federal government did the same thing. So I think it was the 08 time frame where a lot of that kind of went away. We're seeing a lot of partners bring it back around us. Yeah. And that makes it competitive in the recruiting market that I'm pretty sure you see.
It would definitely help out our recruiting efforts and get more people here.
Because knowing that I just have a pool of money that I have to take 2% out of that just sits there and hopefully grows, that when I retire, here you go to spend on your retirement. It's kind of like an HSP, or I forgot what the actual term is for it. But no, if I would say, if anything, hearing along the lines is just the health benefit after retirement, that we get to keep that.
That's a good one. I would agree. Because even that health savings account, right? Like, insurance is constantly going up, or healthcare is constantly going up afterwards. So what you're saving right now may not do a lick of good down the line, right?
Yeah, because you remember what we started off with when we started here, like 33, or you probably started a little less than 33 when you started
26.
on.
I was 26, yeah.
So 2% of that at that time, and trying to catch up to what the rate is now is astronomical.
Yes.
So I think some of the people who have left for their families have done that because of the departments offer that, and as a good retention, but also just more for us. Yeah, I would like to see the return of a health benefit after retirement.
It'd be great retention, because that's again, people don't understand how much health insurance costs. That'll be a huge, and then also just getting people. If I could say, you have health insurance for life, that is going to be huge for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, what is one question you want to ask for whoever the next guest is?
Ooh, next question I have to ask for the next guest. Asking me some pretty good questions today. Like, I'm not good on thinking on the fly like this. Catch me on, man. I probably should have had a second cup of coffee before I came on that one. Next question for the next person.
And it don't have to be deep. It could be.
No, yeah.
It don't even have to be fire related. It could be something else. Whatever.
Don't
worry.
For the next person, here we go.
All right.
Is that if they could go to any station where would they want to and why they prefer that station over any other station?
You're going to be a butthole. You're going to put them on a spot like that?
Yeah.
Because I would not want to. Hopefully, this person. Well,
because that brings up some good conversations.
it does, especially back at the station. So what do you mean? Why would you want to go there?
Yeah, why that station?
Yeah. All right. Well, look, man. I feel like it was a great conversation. You really gave us an insight into how training is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was really good. I felt like we got a lot of good information out of that. Do you have any questions for me, like from your perspective?
No. I just want to start off with one. This is hard to follow up with a lot of people who came prior because that's a lot of experience ahead of me. So it's pretty cool to follow up on it, but at the same time, it's a lot of pressure. But no, this program that you guys are starting is great. I want to do a shout out to you being on the thing because I have gone to calls in my district and trying to leave and or just being at the station, and I've had a dozen people come up and ask how to get hired here because they've seen the videos that you've been pushing out, you and Patrick and everybody here. So I have to say a phenomenal job on the recruitment side though, man.
I appreciate that, man.
That's all I got to say on that one.
Hey, man, Patrick is large part of that, and just the team back here, Antoine, Darius, Juan, they everybody, like it's a team effort, so we do appreciate it. We're glad to see that it is, we are getting some good feedback, so I appreciate that. Patrick, you got any sentiments on that, man?
Yeah, we just try to make y'all look good. We're just trying to make y'all look good. I appreciate that, though. Appreciate the shout out.
If you're trying to make us look good, then y'all need a raise. So you need a lot of work for that right there, my friend.
Oh, man, listen, man. Hey, but I do think it is a difference. Like, I think for a long time we relied on our name to carry us. Yes. And while Durham does have a great reputation and it is a great name, I had somebody yesterday at the Bull Stadium. He's like, man, my department hasn't started recruiting yet, but that's next. Like, because I was out there recruiting.
Yeah.
He's like, we're next. He's like, we're definitely got to do that because we're only getting like 100 applications, and out of the 100, we may get three candidates, and one may leave. So it's not so much that, people aren't applying in droves like they were before because it's a lot of people want to work from home or they don't even, and a lot of people, this is a blue collar job, and a lot of people aren't really trying to they're more office based now.
Yes.
That's just how our society has changed. So that's another tangent.
That's
for another
another
day. But I do want to thank you, man. Thank you for coming out here, man. Thank you for just being that spark for like just how the training program has. I know it wasn't just you, but I do want to thank you and all your efforts, and also being a hazmat nerd. And look, man, hey, it was great talking to you, man. Patrick, you got anything you want to say, man? Follow up.
Yeah, just everybody, thank you for listening. Follow us on social media. That's the Durham Fire Department. For the city page, if you want to follow Tim's recruiting page, you want to work here, I had to join DFD. Wait.
Join Durham FD.
Join Durham FD. How do I mess that up? I've only done it 10 times at this point. Yeah, join Durham FD, Instagram and Facebook. And appreciate Captain Marsee for coming in. Enjoyed listening to y'all, and Tim, take us out.
Hey, man. Well, listen. Again, the legendary, future legend, first ballot Hall of Famer.
No.
Nah, man, you can be a legend in your own right, man. You get there, man. You
I
get
appreciate
there
it.
in time. You still got a long way to go.
I do. I got a long way to go. And
you said you've been, 10 years, 11 years? How long you been on now?
10 and a half, going on 11. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got 20 years left.
Oh, yeah.
I tell you, like the old people used to tell me, man, if I still had that much time left, I'll go out there and lay out
the street.
I'll lay out there in the road. So, man, you still got a good ways in your career, man. So you'll get there, man. But thank you, man. This is our episode of Bull City Bravest podcast. Hey, like, subscribe, share. Please share. If you have any questions, send them in. We'll answer them. And, Captain Marsee, I appreciate you coming out, man. Until next time,
Appreciate
man, we'll holler at you. Signing off.